already 9 months into the year, and let me be real, if people still recognize you, that's a problem. It means you haven't made those massive game-changing moves that leaves them speechless. But it's not too late. You've got 90 days, and that's more than enough time to completely flip the script and slap everyone from your past in the face. 90 days is the proven magic number, and proven by me, not by anyone else, not scientifically, but it is magic because it is more than enough time to see all of your efforts pay off, but not too long where you're bored and you feel like giving up. Step number 1 is the power of 3, setting 3 big goals. First things first, we need to set goals. We need to have a vision. But here's the catch, you are not going to set more than 3 goals. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. You don't want to add too many things onto the plate because then you're just going to not end up doing any of them. Just focus on your big 3. These are the 3 goals that are going to have the most impact on your life within the next 90 days and set you up for an amazing 2025. Whether that's your career, your mindset, maybe healing, relationships, finances. Keep your focus and also get the results that you want because you've narrowed everything down and you're only tackling the most meaningful areas of your life right now at this moment. An example of your big 3 could be healing your internal world because you want to manifest your dream guy. It could be starting your own personal brand. And then you could also be trying to master your fitness routine and really get into a healthy lifestyle. Whatever your goals are, whatever big 3 you choose, they should feel exciting and they should feel imminent. Like they are the most important things right now to set you up for success in the future. Even if while you're planning your goals, you start to feel a little uncomfortable or they feel a little daunting or like, how am I going to do this? Don't worry. That is why we have a plan. We have a guide coming to you very shortly. But remember that growth does not happen in your comfort zone, and right now your life is stagnant because you're in your comfort zone. Step number 2 is breaking down your plan of action. So now you have your clear 3 goals that you want to work on. It's time to actually map out a plan to execute them. This is your roadmap, aka your actions. So ask yourself, what are the actions necessary to achieve these goals? Your focus here is to break all of these bigger actions into smaller actions. So these will be your daily actions. Your bigger actions will be the weekly actions. And each of these action steps are going to be broken down into small, manageable steps. So you're taking your big goal, you are dissecting it into a weekly action, and then that weekly action you are dissecting into daily action. So it's basically a mind map. Think of your big goal in the middle. You're gonna, draw a couple of spikes outside. You're gonna draw like the bigger weekly actions, and then from those weekly actions, you're gonna draw out the small, manageable daily steps that you're gonna take. So this is really a foolproof plan here because you're making sure you are attacking each area that will be necessary for you to actually achieve all of this. Let's say your goal is fitness. Figure out what workouts you want to do every single week. Figure out your meal prepping day. Meal prepping is essential to getting on top of your fitness and your healthy lifestyle. I could never recommend meal prepping more because it will completely change the game for you. So definitely, I know this is an example, but I'm definitely telling you to meal prep if fitness is one of your big goals. Do you have the funds to maybe hire a trainer 3 times a week? Are you going to be doing at-home workouts? Are you going to be going to the gym and getting a gym membership? Will it be a high-end boutique-style gym? Or is it going to be a regular schmegular, just getting the job done kind of gym? I know that sounds so tedious and like, why do I need to plan all that out? But trust me, this all matters because when you are in it and you're actually putting this plan into motion, you are going to thank yourself that you actually mapped out all the minute, small details that you think you can overlook, but are actually the key to your overall success. What are the tasks that are going to move the needle? So for this step, make a list of every single action you are going to need to do weekly and daily to accomplish this goal. Then make a list of all the things that you are going to need to prep in order to even start this goal, if there's any prep work needed. Your goal is to be systemized, organized, and keeping your to-do list as short as possible. You are only focused on what truly matters and what is actually going to make compounded growth so that over the next 90 days, you start seeing change because it's compounding. This whole process isn't about doing more and adding more to your plate to overwhelm you and burn you out. It's about being more intentional with your energy, with your time, and with your focus. Step number 2, you need to rewire your mind for success, and you're gonna do this using affirmations. Affirmations are truly the secret sauce. I cannot stress enough how important it is to speak life into your goals and into your energy. Affirmations to the outside average person seem woo-woo, but I'm not kidding. They will completely transform your ability to stay motivated and feel focused and accomplished on getting the job done. They help align your brain and body, creating coherence between what you want and what you want to do. Repeating mantras like, I am focused, I am dedicated and disciplined. I'm becoming the best version of myself each day. I love eating healthy. I crave healthy food. Success comes easily and naturally to me. People love me. My personal brand is the best thing I ever did. I'm a creative genius. Don't make an entire Christmas list of affirmations because you're not going to remember them. The goal is to be able to remember these quick fire. When you're doing the dishes, you repeat your affirmations. When you're working on your personal brand, you're telling yourself, I'm a creative genius. So only pick about 3 to 5 affirmations for each specific goal. And the key to not get overwhelmed with affirmations or forget them is to just do your set of 3 to 5 affirmations when you are tackling the first goal. Then your next 3 to 5 when you're tackling the next goal, and so on and so forth. Repeating them daily will help your new habits feel like second nature and align you into the person that you're striving to be. Step number 4, removing resistance so you can be set up for success every single time you wake up. Resistance is the number one thing that gets in the way of success. It gets in the way of following through with all these plans you set in motion. It gets in the way of becoming the person you want to be. Resistance is just no bueno, the enemy. I'm not talking about large resistance, very obvious resistance. I'm talking about non-obvious, small little obstacles that tend to derail us. So think of the compounding effect in a positive light. The small actions you take every single day turn into big change over time. It compounds on top of each other. Now on the negative side, you have small obstacles every single day, little resistances here and there that end up compounding on top of each other. So 30 days, 60 days into this plan, you're looking around and nothing has changed because all of those small obstacles that you can prevent have piled on top of each other, causing almost little to zero change. That's when frustration sets in, that's when self-doubt sets in, and that's when you just throw in the towel altogether because you're like, this chick Vikita has no idea what she's talking about. This doesn't work. But trust me, it does. You just gotta follow what I'm saying. Okay, so how are you going to remove the resistance from your life every single day so that you are smooth sailing? Let's take the fitness goal, for example, meal prepping. When I say meal prepping will change your life, I've said it before in this video about 5 seconds ago, and I'm gonna say it again. Meal prepping is the key to your healthy lifestyle. So think about this. When you wake up in the morning and you're like, hey, I gotta go to the gym, but you're like, oh shoot, I gotta eat something before I go to the gym. You don't have any fruit laying around, you're figuring out where the protein powder is, you don't know what's going on. You're spending about 30 minutes trying to figure out what to eat. I don't know about you, but when I'm all scattered in the morning, like I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat, that's the biggest thing. Okay, if I eat this, it's gonna take so much time. Okay, I just wanna get to the gym. And then by the time I'm ready to get to the gym, I don't even wanna go. I've exhausted all my energy to put into the gym and actually working out on trying to figure out what I'm eating to get to the gym beforehand. So I meal prep every single Sunday. I'm meal prepping my breakfast because breakfast is where I trip up the most. I'm meal prepping my lunches. Sometimes I'm meal prepping dinner sides, so maybe a side of vegetables, you know, whatever sides I usually have with my dinners, I will meal prep those. The only thing I will actually cook on the day of is my protein. This removes the daily friction of deciding what you are going to eat. Whenever we have that friction, that very tiny friction between us and then getting to the goal or, you know, doing the task required to accomplish the goal, you lose more and more focus on the thing that actually matters. You slip up and then you go to the thing that's convenient, maybe eating junk food, maybe grabbing a quick fast food burger, ordering something to eat, ordering Deliveroo or Uber Eats. Humans are always striving for convenience. Look around the world, you get pre-cut vegetables because people are too lazy to cut their own vegetables. And we set up this convenience for ourselves by creating systems and routines that are so simple and easy to follow. A morning routine prep is amazing. Chef's kiss. You cannot go without a morning routine prep. And if you are, then your life probably is a little bit, you know, all over the place, but don't worry, we're getting it in order in these next 90 days. Morning routine prep means every single night you're gonna carve out 20 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, whatever, it takes you to do this. It's probably gonna take you about 10 minutes. It's so easy. You're gonna get everything ready for the morning. You're gonna take out your protein powder. I like to keep it in like a cute little basket and just keep it on my counter. I put all the stuff that I need in there, and I can actually just put that basket away whenever, I need to, because it looks a little ugly during the day and it's a little inconvenient. But you just take out your basket, you pop it there, protein shakes, your vitamins, whatever little, droppers you have in there. Taking out your gym clothes, picking the cute set the night before, putting it right beside your bed. As soon as you wake up, you're putting the gym set straight on. You can go as far as to prep your tea. Tea bag in, honey's right beside it, water's in the kettle. So I am literally not having to even fill the kettle up with water in the morning. I'm just clicking the button. Hot water, boiling. It's all these things that you don't have to think about when you do them the night before. All these little details that seem like, why can't I just do this in the morning? Trust me, these are the things that are gonna get in the way of you continuing and doing the thing that you actually should be doing to move the needle. But because you're focusing so much time on the prep work, the day of the goal needing to be accomplished, you are going to fizzle out and you're going to be like, I'm over this. This is so much effort. My trick to being excited about this in the evening time is to put on my favorite song. I am like every other person in this world. When I find a good song that I like, I'm playing it every single day, every single second, every hour. It's like my top rated song. I will not listen to anything else. So when you have one of those songs, you're like, let me put on my favorite song that I love right now and let's just get this routine done. Make it cute. Have a cup of tea while you're doing it. Like, make it a cute, fun routine. It doesn't have to be boring. None of this glow up, getting your life together has to be tedious, boring, and mundane, and like a chore. Make it fun. You can even swivel your TV. Sometimes I even swivel my TV into the kitchen while I'm doing this. So I'm getting like some dopamine happening with the TV, with some housewives going on, but I'm still prepping my morning routine up. You see, you gotta give yourself a little enjoyment when you're doing this. And if resistance comes from deeper places like trauma or emotional blocks, don't hesitate to explore something like therapy. Sometimes we need a professional to help identify those barriers and move past perhaps some emotional blockages that are happening that are preventing us from getting to where we want to be. And that takes me to BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the paid partner of today's video. BetterHelp connects you with a credentialed therapist who's trained to listen and give you unbiased advice. When some of these emotional blocks might come up, it's so important that we have a safe space to really talk about it, especially with someone who, like I said, is unbiased. Getting started with BetterHelp is such an easy process. Just go to their site using my link, answer a few questions, and you're all set to be matched to a professional who has years of experience helping with struggles just like yours. My favorite part of BetterHelp is that you get to choose how you want to communicate with your therapist. You can message them, you can chat with them through video, or you can just do a regular phone call. The point is, you get to choose how you want to speak and communicate with your therapist, which makes this entire process super individualized and makes you feel as comfortable as possible. I'm going to leave my discount code on the screen, which is betterhelp.com/Vakita, and I'll leave a link in the top of my description box so you can sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Step number 5, focus on feeling better and use your emotions as evidence. Here's the thing people don't understand. They get a negative emotion and they try to run from it. Instead, use that negative emotion to guide you to figure out what needs to change, where you need to go, or where you need to continue moving. Negative emotions are not your enemy, they are your friend. You can use them, you can talk to them, you can ask them, what are you trying to tell me? When you figure out what this emotion is trying to tell you, you can get closer to the path that you're meant to be on. That is the path that everything just starts flowing to you very naturally and easily because you're removing all of these self-imposed limitations. These emotions are actual guides telling you where you need to shift your focus and pivot. During this process, if you feel anxious, overwhelmed, sad, and just frustrated, you can ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? Journal about it. If you're feeling overwhelmed, why are you feeling overwhelmed? Once you get to the why, you can figure out your next action step. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you realize that this is just a bit too much on the plate, you can maybe remove something. Maybe focus only on 2 goals. If you're feeling anxious, is it because you're feeling like this is actually gonna get me to the person I wanna be, and am I comfortable with that yet? You can use all of these things as guides. You can be a little bit of a Sherlock Holmes, get curious, investigate. Don't run from the emotion and just completely put in the towel and be like, no, I can't do this. Like, this is just too much. Make friends with them and work with them as a team. The entire goal is to feel better, not just do better. So even though you're doing all these great actions, if you're not feeling better, something's got to change. There has to be a pivot. Your emotions are like this giant flashlight telling you where you need to go in this very dark cave. So if your emotions are flashing at you and they're saying anxious, they're saying frustrated, they're saying sad, depressed, unmotivated, but you're doing all of the right actions, then you need to go back and you need to figure out, how can I adjust? Because clearly this is not the right situation for me. But I want to say, don't just feel this negative emotion and be like, it's definitely telling me that this is not meant for me. I can't do this. I'm not skilled enough. Nope, I'm not meant to have that body. Nope, not meant to have that guy. That is all inner critic stuff. That's not your emotions being like, hey, come over here. Your emotions are the flashlight saying, hey, this way. You need to come this way because this way is out of the tunnel. So make sure you are rationally thinking through these emotions. You are also not just listening to the inner critic and saying, yeah, I don't feel good enough for this. I'm just going to bounce out. Like, I'm just going to go back to maybe the regular schmegular job. I'm going to just go back to the low-key fitness routine. Like, it wasn't too much. That is all not leaving your comfort zone. The entire premise is to leave your comfort zone because that is where the best version of you is living and lying. So you're using your emotions as a guide, as a flashlight to get you to that person. Basically what I'm trying to say, the main goal, feel good, focus on feeling good physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Once you do that, everything else will start to fall into place. Step number 6 is learning these 2 rules. 2 simple rules for consistency. Just like I said, affirmations are a bit of the secret sauce, so is consistency. Consistency is truly one of the biggest keys to success. Even if you just did 5 jumping jacks a day as your fitness routine, that would be way better and actually compound into some sort of needle moving, some sort of change than to not do anything at all. The act of consistency in those jumping jacks is going to yield so much more than just skipping it because you don't think doing 5 jumping jacks is going to make a difference. The goal is to be consistent without burning out. So these 2 rules will definitely help with that. The first one is the 1% better rule. Simple. 1% better every single day. 5 jumping jacks today instead of skipping the jumping jacks. 1% better than yesterday. Maybe you skipped yesterday, you're doing the 5 jumping jacks today. 1% better every single day. Do not stress about tomorrow. Do not stress about next week. Do not stress about 3 months from now and the 90 days and what's going to happen after the 90 days. Focus on today. You don't want to be thinking big picture here. I know that's a huge thing that you should learn and have the ability to think a big picture. It's a very great business skill, actually. However, we're not doing business right now. We're doing, internal work. And so we don't want to be thinking big picture. We just need to focus on today. You're focusing on going to the gym today. You're focusing on eating 1 healthy, 2 healthy, 3 healthy meals today. You're focusing on taking your supplements today. Then you're focusing on doing that again tomorrow when that day comes tomorrow. You're not focusing on tomorrow today, you're focusing on tomorrow when tomorrow comes. Like I said, compounding effect, major transformations from minor, small steps every single day. The second rule is the 2-day rule. You're allowed to miss 1 day of your routine, never 2 days in a row. Whether that's working on your business, fitness routine, taking your supplements, journaling. Missing 1 day won't make too much of a dent, but missing 2 days in a row starts to become a habit and a justification as to why you can do it. That 2 days equals 1 week, and next thing you know, 90 days has flown by and you're looking around, maybe you're even worse than when you started off. So if you skip a day, make sure you are bouncing back the next day. And step number 7 is your sacrifice and reward system. A lot of people don't really talk about this, but during my journey and when I continue to, have my rebrands and my glow ups and all of that, I make sure that I'm always rewarding myself with something. Because during this process, we don't want to slip into the masculine mode, into the masculine way of how they do things, like sacrifice, get up, all these crazy things. We can't do that. Our feminine bodies, we're not wired for a 24-hour clock. We're wired for pleasure and for, just coziness. So yes, you are focusing yourself on getting better, making these actions a part of your daily routine and being consistent. But in order to get this, you're not needing to sacrifice this and all of your pleasure states. So after you finish your routine, after you finish making that healthy dinner, sit with your favorite show and watch a couple of episodes. Have a cozy bath, have a glass of wine, light your favorite fall candles. Fall is my favorite season ever. Take away everything that is stopping you and distracting you from the version that you want to be, but don't forget to fill those pockets of negative pleasure with positive pleasure. So the negative pleasure is doom scrolling, just, watching Netflix 24/7, going on social media, comparing yourself, staying up really late, eating junk food, all of those classic negative pleasure, systems. You want to take those out, but you're going to replace it with positive pleasure. So get a really saucy nonfiction book. Like, I am done with reading nonfiction right now because it's just too much. It feels like there's constantly work happening. This is my job. When I relax and want to have a glass of wine and read a book, I don't want to dive back into work by reading a self-development book. I don't want to listen to a self-development podcast because this self-development world is my world. It's what I do for work. So I've started going to nonfiction books like A Court of Thorns and Roses. You have to read it. It's so good. Like sitting with a glass of wine, a nice cozy fire escape on the TV, my heated blanket, and a fall candle. There's nothing better. That is a positive pleasure that I have added into my reward system after completing all the things I have to do during the day, but also knowing that it's regulating my nervous system, not destroying it by doom scrolling and doing the comparison on social media. So the key here is to remove the negative pleasures, input your positive pleasures in replacement of that, and have this sacrifice reward system. So you've sacrificed all of the instant gratification things, you're rewarding yourself with all of these fun things that you love to do, but don't feel like a chore, don't feel like you're in self-development mode, don't feel like you're on this like reinvention, glow up process, because we don't want to be in this what can I do every single day to feel better and get better 24/7, because it is exhausting. You have to be able to shut your brain off from this constantly achieving more and striving to be the best version of yourself. It can be exhausting. So don't make it your entire life, your entire personality. Do fun things, but also don't sabotage yourself and go right back into the negative pleasure distractions. You want to really get rid of those in your life because those are the things that will stop you from being the best version of yourself. This entire point sounded quite counterintuitive, but I hope you're reading between the lines or listening between the lines and understanding what I'm saying. The goal here is to not make this a painful process. It's finding a balance between discipline, strategy, pleasure, energetics, cozy time. I mentioned emotional regulation as one of the keys to really transforming your life in these next 90 days. So if you want a more detailed explanation and detailed guide, watch this video next.